Hi, this is Dan from Dan's Crafts and Things. We just finished up our last competition and thought we'd take a minute to talk about why some of the winners won, what the judges were looking for, and this could give us an opportunity to take a real close look at some of the winners. All right, let's take a closer look. All right, let's get started with the winner of Class 1. That was Builder Glenn. You can see the clean panel lining all the way around. You notice the seams are still in place, but he tried to mask the seams a little bit by filling them in with some marker. Detailed the back end here, the backpack. All the nubs around the seams and all those sprue marks have been removed very well. A little bit of a blemish down here on the knee. I don't know if you can see there. It's very well put together, very clean. He didn't score as high on the fine detail points because there's really not a lot of detail to this kit. Sticker placement we couldn't judge very well because there's just one sticker for the eye and then one down low. But all of these little detail points have been brought out in a subtle fashion, and it's really just a clean build. That's what we were looking for. Now, if we have to dig so deep as to looking underneath areas and behind areas to try to find a sprue mark, then you're doing a pretty good job, and that was the case with this one. This is very, very clean, and we had a hard time finding anything that we really didn't like with this one, so great job to Builder Glenn. Okay, moving on to our Class 2 winner. That would be Travis with the Sinanju Stein Verka. If you're familiar with this kit, it is normally a white kit originally, but has been painted blue in most areas. Some of the judges had a hard time even believing that because it's such a smooth and clean paint job. Very, very impressive with the paint. Notice all the panel lines and details are being brought out. Comes around the helmet, the shoulders, the whole backpack is detailed. Front facing side of the shield is detailed well. And even the back side of the shield is detailed. Just something some of the judges were really looking for was, were those extra details you normally wouldn't see being brought out or not. And with this kit they certainly were. Nub removal, very clean, very hard to find nubs on this one, any kind of sprue marks. Very, very clean and impressive build that way. With the fine detail, a couple spots with the panel lining up high and around the helmet that were a little bit blemishy. Not quite as clean as on the rest of the kit, so there were a few deductions there. A couple of little rough spots on the back side around those boosters. Again, as far as the kit, the painting on this kit goes, absolutely phenomenal. A couple small spots on the back side where the paint appeared to start to chip. We also have two tones, from the darker blue to the lighter blue, which is a very subtle difference, but really brings out some of the detail and the part separation in this kit. Seam removal, every line on this kit looks like it's supposed to be there. Nothing here really looks like it's different parts being put together unless there's color separation between them. There were also seam lines added and some parts were brought out. For here I believe you can see it a little bit on the ankle. You'll see it better on this one. There's different parts here that are supposed to butt against each other that are separated. It's not how the kit originally comes. It's very, very impressive modification to the parts. That goes under the custom parts and kit bash category. It was modifying of stock parts. Also theme. This one does have a theme to it. It wasn't as strong of a theme in most of the judges' opinions. This goes off of if one of the characters from a Gunpla series or a Gundam series came across one of these suits, how we would have modified it and changed it. One of the judges really, really liked that theme. Overall, just a very, very clean, very impressive kit, which is what we were looking for in this class. You know, a clean, modified kit, which this is exactly what that is. And it was just a phenomenal job by builder Travis. And now our Class 3 winner, which was from builder Aaron. This kit has a lot of stuff going on. As a Class 3, there's dioramas involved, weathering, damage, all of those things are coming into play that were not in the first two classes. Very impressive kit. Very not clean, but very well executed. With panel lining, there are panels on the downed GM kit. There are lines brought out in other aspects where they would be appropriate, although not a lot of lines, because again, this is very heavily weathered, so all those spots where there would otherwise be lines are not there. When you look at the rocket and on the GM, there is some panel lining that's done very, very well there. As far as the fine details go, they're everywhere. The shading on the GM is phenomenal. And the detail brought out to have rust in appropriate locations on the tank car that had toppled over during the chaos, and the damaged asphalt with piping underneath and bare earth. The way that the kits have actually crushed through the surface of the asphalt and have started to indent the earth. Very impressive details. And I'm sure that this smoke effect here is not coming across as well, but there is an LED tube in there that is causing this whole section to glow, as well as I hope you can see the LED for an eye in there. Those are all great details that were added. The paint job on this is fantastic. The GM alone is painted very, very well. Very smooth, lightly textured. There's a textured paint job all over the main kit. The whole rocket. All of the paint is very, very well done on this kit. As far as seam removal goes, it's hard to even find where the seams used to be on this kit. They are wonderfully removed from the GM to the main kit. This section here, to me, is one of the most impressive for seam removal, because these three pieces used to be two, and they were not hollow like that. They had support pieces in them. That is all very heavily modified parts there. Where else are we? Custom parts. Certainly there are multiple parts here. There are aspects that are added. This whole apparatus here has been added and modified and customized. The theme of the midst of battle is very strong with this kit. It flows very well. It shows true. When you get into class 3, you start looking at damage. There is certainly a lot of damage going on here. The GM has lost an arm. You can see wires that are removed. There's no blank spots. It truly just looks as though that piece has been removed, as well as the bullet holes and blast spots that are detailed down to the point where you can see where the paint has been burned off, and then the bare metal is showing through. Very, very impressive. Certainly weathering. Weathering has certainly been shown off here. Great effect with the texture, the rust texture. This effect is great. You can see some of the rust runoff spots. The detail here is very, very impressive. A little bit of realism was missed out. When something is this rusted over, you would expect some rust spots to be worn through. You would expect a little more chipping on the edges. This would be a very, very brittle kit or a brittle machine if it had been rusted quite this much. But the effect is fantastic. And then also the diorama itself is graded, and it is just put together so well that I have a hard time recommending anything that I would have changed. The whole diorama just scored very, very high with all of the judges as a great overall piece. So congratulations again to builder Aaron, the winner of Class 3. A great, great build. All right, and now for Best in Show. This kit is the kit that the judges decided was our favorite kit. Not necessarily the most technical, but one with the theme we liked the best and the best execution of that. The approach that we had was, if we were going to be displaying something in our homes, which of these kits would we want to display? And there were some other kits that we thought were a little more appropriate if we were displaying or showing them off to just model builders, but we all believed that this was the best kit for just anyone. If you were going to be displaying this on a coffee table, anyone, whether a model builder or not, whether a Gundam or Gunpla enthusiast or not, they would appreciate this kit. The damage done to the arm here really stands out, as well as the rest of the laser blast. You can see how the plastic appears to be melted out, like you would expect from a laser blast. There's damage all over this kit, but it's done cleanly, it's done well. Whole kit is covered in glitter, giving it that freshly snowed on appearance. But technically it is missing some things. The beam saber handles have no detail added to them. There's not even any glitter on there. There's some other spots where it appears that parts are starting to separate that maybe wouldn't, but were necessary to separate for the posing. Most of the fine details have been completely covered up. There's a section on the leg back here that might be hard to see, where there's just, I believe, a little bit too much of the leg actually removed there. But overall, just a fantastic kit to look at, and very well done job by builder Tyler. This was our favorite kit. All right, so this is the last kit that I would like to talk about. This one was submitted by builder Jesse. This kit did not win any awards with us, but is something that I've considered an honorable mention. This one, us judges decided, was the best pose out of all of the kits. It's definitely the most dynamic. It really catches you in that moment right before the spear is released. You can really feel the movement in the kit. Down to the pointing of the toes. It may just be what's included with the kit, but that hand positioning and the finger positioning in the hand is great. Really gets you in that moment of attack, which we all really liked and appreciated. So just wanted to point that one out, give this one a little bit of credit. I want to thank everyone for watching the video, and hopefully that clears things up as far as the scoring processes, explains some things. Hopefully that was informative as to why the kits that did win did, and hopefully this encourages everyone to participate in our next competition. Thank you very much.